Hey, I want to end this kind of series of talks and stuff we've been doing. I think there's gonna be a break for a while. I hope there's gonna be a break for a while because I got other stuff to do. But I have a lot of things I want to cover, like the hierarchy of angels and different kinds of angels and how they work, because it's really fascinating. It's fascinating for me to teach you because I learn as I teach you. Like I don't know what I'm gonna say as I teach, like the class or whatever. I learn it. God, God tells me like 1 second ahead that before I say it, he makes sense. He makes it make sense to me, so I can make it make sense to you. And I don't know what it's gonna be, but it's cool because I learned it. I'm like, oh shit, it all makes sense, and I know it makes sense to you. But that's what's weird. It it just it's plain. It's plain. It's the plain truth, and it's how it is. Uh, I'm gonna leave it with this. It's a very powerful story by Hans Christian Andersen, who's a Danish author. I heard it when I was a child, a very young child, and it stuck with me because I didn't quite understand it, but I identified with it immediately. Especially the end. I still don't understand the end, but it's very powerful. I was like 8 or 9, and I heard this poem, and I remembered it. I still remember it. It's called The Steadfast Tin Soldier, and it's me in a nutshell. It's bizarre how I knew it when I was a little child that I was gonna be like this. I didn't know I was gonna be like all this, but I just knew I was gonna be like a royal soldier. I don't know how I knew. I just my life was leading towards that as a little Catholic little soldier of Christ. I just knew I was gonna be a royal guard or something like that. So, anyways, this is a story called The Steadfast Tin Soldier. It's a translation of Hans Christian Andersen's Den Standhaftige Tin Soldat. There were once 5 and 20 tin soldiers. They were all brothers, born of the same old tin spoon. They shouldered their muskets and looked straight ahead of them, splendid in their uniforms, all red and blue. The very first thing, the very first thing in the world that they heard was "Tin soldiers!" A small boy shouted it and clapped his hands as the lid was lifted off their box on his birthday. He immediately set them up on the table. All the soldiers looked exactly alike except one. He looked a little different as he had been cast last of all. The tin was short, so he only had one leg. But there he stood, as steady on one leg as any of the other soldiers on there too. But just you see, he'll be the remarkable. On the table with the soldier were many other playthings, and one that no eye could miss was a marvelous castle made of cardboard. It had little windows through which you could look right inside of it, and in front of the castle were miniature trees around a little mirror supposed to represent a lake. The wax swans that swam on its surface were reflected in the mirror. All of this was very pretty, but the prettiest of all was the little lady who stood in the open doorway of the castle. Though she was a paper doll, she wore a dress of the fluffiest gauze. A tiny blue ribbon went over her shoulder for a scarf, and in the middle of it shone a spangle that was as big as her face. The little lady held out both her arms as a ballet dancer does, and one leg was lifted so high behind her that the tin soldier couldn't see it at all, and he supposed she must have only one leg, as he did. That would be a wife for me, he thought, but maybe she's too grand. She lives in a castle. I have only a box with 4 and 20 roommates to share it. That's no place for her, but I must try to make her acquaintance. Still as stiff as when he stood at attention, he lay down on the table behind a snuff box, where he could admire the dainty little dancer who kept standing on one leg without ever losing her balance. When the evening came, the other tin soldiers were put away in their box, and the people of the house went to bed. Now the toys began to play among themselves at visits and battles and at giving balls. The tin soldiers rattled about in their box, for they wanted to play too, but they could not get the lid open. The nutcracker turned somersaults. and the slate pencil squeaked out jokes on the slate. The toys made such a noise that they woke up the canary bird, who made them a speech, all in verse. The only two who stayed, the only two who stayed still were the tin soldier and the little dancer. Without ever swerving from the tip of one toe, she held her arms out to him, and the tin soldier was just as steadfast on his one leg. Not once did he ever take his eyes off her. But then the clock struck 12, and clack! Up popped the lid of the snuff box. But there was no snuff in it. No, out bounced a little black bogey, a jack-in-the-box. Tin soldier, he said, will you please keep your eyes to yourself? The tin soldier pretended not to hear. The bogey said, just you wait till tomorrow. But when morning came and the children got up, the soldier was set on the window ledge. And whether the bogey did it or there was a gust of wind, all of a sudden the window flew open and the soldier pitched out headlong from the third floor. He fell at breathtaking speed and landed cap first, with his bayonet buried between the paving stones and one leg stuck straight in the air. The housemaid and the little boy ran down to look for him, and though they nearly stepped on the tin soldier, they walked right past without seeing him. If the soldier had called, "Here I am," they would surely have found him, but he thought it contemptible to raise an uproar while he was wearing his uniform. Soon it began to rain. The drops fell faster and faster until they came down by the bucketful. As soon as the rain let up, along came two young rapscallions. "Hi, look," one of them said. "There's a tin soldier. Let's send him sailing." They made a boat out of newspaper, put the tin soldier in the middle of it, and away he went down the gutter with the two young rapscallions running beside him and clapping their hands. High heavens, how the waves splashed, and how fast the water ran down the gutter. Don't forget that it had just been raining by the bucketful. The paper boat pitched and tossed, and sometimes it whirled about so rapidly that it made the soldier's head spin. But he stood as steady as ever, never once flinching. He kept his eyes front and carried his gun shoulder high. Suddenly the boat rushed under a long plank where the gutter was boarded over. It was as dark as the soldier's own box. "Where can I be going?" the soldier wondered. "This must be that black bogey's revenge. Ah, if I only had the little lady with me, it could be twice as dark here, and I wouldn't care." Out popped a great water rat who lived under the gutter plank. "Have you a passport?" said the rat. "Hand it over." The soldier kept quiet and held his musket tighter. On rushed the boat, and the rat came right after it, gnashing his teeth as he called to the sticks and straws. "Halt him! Stop him! He didn't pay his toll. He hasn't shown his passport." But the current ran stronger and stronger. The soldier could see daylight ahead where the board ended, but he also heard a great roar that would frighten the bravest of us. Hold on! Right at the end of that gutter plank, the water poured into a great canal. It was as dangerous to him as a waterfall would be to us. He was so near it, he could not possibly stop. The boat plunged into the whirlpool. The poor tin soldier stood as staunch as he could, and no one can say that he so much as blinked an eye. Thrice and again the boat spun around. It filled to the top, and it was bound to sink. The water was up to his neck, and still the boat went down, deeper, 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 and the paper got soft and limp. Then the water rushed over his head. He thought of the pretty little dancer whom he'd never see again, and in his ears rang an old, old song. "Farewell, farewell, O warrior brave, nobody can from death thee save." And now the paper boat broke beneath him, and the soldier sank right through. And just at that moment, he was swallowed by a most enormous fish. My, oh my, how dark it was inside that fish. It was darker than under the gutter plank, and it was so cramped. But the tin soldier still was staunch. He lay there full length, soldier fashion, with musket to shoulder. Then the fish flopped and floundered in a most unaccountable way. Finally, it was perfectly still, and after a while, something struck through him like a flash of lightning. The tin soldier saw daylight again, and he heard a voice say, "The tin soldier!" The fish had been caught, carried to market, bought, and brought to a kitchen where the cook cut him open with her big knife. She picked the soldier up bodily between her two fingers and carried him off upstairs. Everyone wanted to see this remarkable traveler who had traveled about in a fish's stomach, but the tin soldier took no pride in it. They put him on the table, and lo and behold, what curious things can happen in this world. There he was, back in the same room as before. He saw the same children, the same toys were on the table, and there was the same fine castle with the pretty little dancer. She still balanced on one leg, with the other raised high. She, too, was steadfast. That touched the soldier so deeply that he would have cried 10 tears, only soldiers never cry. He just looked at her, and she looked at him, and never a word was said. Just as things were going so nicely for them, one of the little boys snatched up the tin soldier and threw him in the stove. He did it for no reason at all. That black bogey in the snuff box must have put him up to it. The tin soldier stood there dressed in flames. He felt a terrible heat, but whether it came from the flames or from his love, he didn't know. He'd lost his splendid colors, maybe from his hard journey, maybe from grief, nobody could say. He looked at the little lady, she looked at him, and he felt himself melted. But still he stood steadfast, with his musket held trim on his shoulder. Then the door blew open. A puff of wind struck the dancer. She flew like a sylph, straight into the fire with the soldier, blazed up in a flash, and was gone. The tin soldier melted, all in a lump. The next day, when a servant took up the ashes, she found him in the shape of a little tin heart. But of the pretty dancer, nothing was left except her spangle, and it was burned as black as a coal. I don't know what that means, but it moved me so deeply that as a very young child, I knew that this tin soldier was me. And this whole thing is a spiritual journey, a spiritual war that I've been on for my whole entire life, that somehow I've been prepared for as I've gone along it. I don't know how. It's like, someone said this before, it's like working on an airplane while you're flying it. That's how my life is. It's like you're a mechanic on your own airplane while the airplane's flying and you're doing mechanics on it. That's pretty much how my life is. I pull it off. I don't know how. It's God. It's all God who he just kind of does it for me, but I have to do it my way so that I can connect with all of you guys, so that it makes sense, because I'm a very good translator of very big spiritual things, like in the Bible. I can translate them into very simple things, like this morning. I've also had this tool since I was a little kid. It's a compass, and I showed you how to use it. But it's also a fucking hard-ass weapon. You can poke somebody's eyes out, like, in a very fucking severe way. Or you can poke both of their eyes out if you go like that. You just go, ugh, and they don't have eyes anymore. But you don't use it that way. You use it like a measuring You see it. You see it in old military movies. They have these things. They measure distance. You can draw circles. You can cut circles. It's a very old and very powerful tool on how to make a perfect circle, which is like the essence for mobility for mankind and also spirituality, because perfect circles are symbols of God. Okay? Before, you couldn't draw a perfect circle. So people had to fucking jank them and it didn't feel quite right. But once you could draw a perfect absolute circle, you had a feeling that you're creating a spiritual circle of perfection, and that was a reflection of God. That's how I've always looked at it, even since I was a little kid. It's like that's God. So this makes image of God, and it's, look at it. It's an angle. It's a letter A. It's called a compass. It's for navigation. And all the things I talk to, that's what I am as a throne angel. I'm a navigator. I'm not a throne like a seat. I'm a navigator and a judge. I help people navigate their way through spiritual situations using very simple language and illustrations that they can understand. I don't know. I'm just that way. I've explained the Bible. I started doing it the past couple of years, and it just made sense to me. It's like when I was starting out as a Christian, someone explained to me, like, when you really get in with the Holy Spirit, like, words in the Bible when you're reading it will jump out to you, because words kind of get muddy because there's so many words and they're all confusing. But once you start to walk and have the Holy Spirit guide you with everything you do, words will pop out and they'll be like, oh, I just saw that word up 2 pages ago, like sword, spirit. Like he just said sword, and he just said spirit, and you can connect the dots, and then all of a sudden they're like little keys to the passages, and the whole passages you realize he's talking about the sword of the spirit, and it's like, oh, he just talked about it over there, and he said the same exact thing. Little things like that are like, it's like water to me now. I can read a passage of the Bible and read all kinds of it. I can tell which parts are fake that were added later by artificial people who try to canonize artificial words or passages or letters of, like, Paul, or words of Jesus that are not Jesus's, because they're not consistent with every other thing that Jesus said. Okay? Like, Jesus never said, I'm the Alpha and the Omega until the very end of Revelation. So that's bullshit. He's not Alpha and Omega. He never said that in the Gospels. Someone added that at the end of Revelation. So the very end of Revelation, someone got a fucking like tape and newsprint and said, we're going to add this bullshit part to the end of Revelation, and it's going to end all fucking creepy and shit with a giant city raising from the that you can measure to all this like weird shit. That's all bullshit. I read it. It's like clearly bullshit because it's not consistent with the rest of the teachings of Christ, which don't talk about castles from the sky. Jesus doesn't talk about he lives in a castle. Okay? Jesus lives at a fucking beach. He was homeless. He's always baptizing people and killing demons and like hanging out the beach at the lake Sea of Galilee, because he was a fucking nomad. Okay? Nowhere in the Bible does it ever say he had a house. He was on the move because he had all these people to heal and all the stuff that he didn't need. He probably didn't sleep because he was Jesus. So I can tell when someone's pulling my leg, like, pretty quickly, especially with all the spiritual shit going on. I can tell instantly if someone's full of shit. And if someone's trying to fucking yank me, I'll pop them like so quickly. They're like, oh shit, I should walk away. And by then it's too fucking late, because I already popped them bad, and they won't forget it, and they will not show their fucking face around me or in that public area ever again when I pop you. You know who you are. You'll fucking disappear and just be unheard of for the rest of your fucking shitty lives. There's a lot of you out there. And you know when I come walking in the door, now I see you guys just leave out the other door. You know how I fucking roll now, motherfuckers. So, stay away. Stay the fuck away from my happy skinhead kingdom. Okay? You're not part of our community. You haven't earned it. You don't understand it. You're not my friend all of a sudden just because you have the light. You gave up the fucking gas attacks and the psych attacks on me today. Also, we're not gonna be fucking bros. You're not gonna fucking, hey, how's it going? I'm gonna fucking ignore you. And you're lucky I don't fucking slash your fucking mind open and let you bleed out on the street like I used to. Okay? Because as of like this morning, before you like saw the light, you were coming after me to try to fucking fade me out. So I went out hunting for each one of you. And then all of a sudden you guys like collectively, I don't know how, it's because I didn't give a fuck anymore. Like I didn't recognize you. I didn't even give a shit. Like I didn't even try to hunt you or fucking clip you or anything. I didn't give a fuck. Like I was so happy like how last night went that I'm not even gonna give you the time of day. Like, because you're a fucking jank monkey worth nothing to me. Okay? I just want to see you wiggling around like dancing like a fucking robot in two directions because I gamed you all fucking morning and you're fucking janked. All right? You don't know which way's up now because we have all worked together to confuse the fuck out of you once I tagged you and marked you and tagged who you people fucking are, what you look like. Okay? Our community worked together to bang you in the assholes so that you're running around look like a bunch of painted fucking clowns that we could all see immediately. So you might have like figured it out finally today, but I'm not your bro, okay? I'm still the angel of death to you, and I will always be the angel of death to you because you missed the fucking deadline a couple weeks ago, okay? So if you want to learn how to fucking be a gentleman or a lady and blend into our community, you got to do your fucking your work, and you got to talk to Jesus. That's not my department. I'm not Jesus. So don't try to make me like I am Jesus, because I ain't gonna get crucified on a fucking hill and like get tortured for 3 fucking days and then resurrected. I don't have the power to do that. So don't try to fucking roll me like and like pretend like I'm the Messiah. I'm not the Messiah. I'm some asshole skinhead who's starting to fucking hate people as much as I used to love them. So tonight is a bad night to try to be friends with me because I'm still the angel. I'm this guy tonight, okay? I'm this guy tonight. Okay? I'm not your fucking bro. Okay? I'm a guardian and a king and a navigator to my fucking family and my happy skinhead kingdom of people who already understand what it's like to live in the Holy Spirit in the kingdom of heaven. I invited you guys weeks ago, if it was months ago. I don't really fucking remember because I've been fighting every fucking day against you assholes who've been trying to fucking compromise me so you can kind of sneak in and still be some kind of Luciferian Satanist and like be in the kingdom of heaven at the same time. So I've been that prick who has the fucking sword pointing at your goddamn throat every day, every minute of life, a minute of the day. I have not slept the whole entire time. I have not eaten because you give me fucking canker sores from your goddamn gas fucking attacks. I can't sleep in my apartment. I get arrested every 5 days because I lash out on one of you fags. So you're not my fucking homies, okay? If you steal another fucking bottle of wine or anything from anybody in my community, I will fucking hunt you down. I will talk to the people in my community who I know caught you last night and were merciful enough to not turn you over to me, okay? Because if they would have turned you over to me, you'd be in a mental hospital right now and you would never get out because you fucking sinned on the night we established the happy fucking skinhead kingdom with all the people who all fucking understood, okay? So you're not part of us. So don't act like you are. You still look like a fucking gank monkey, all right? You might have like dropped your weapons because you realize you can't fucking kill me, and that it's Angel of Death time again, and it's gonna be a fucking scythe up your fucking ass, and you guys all gave up. It doesn't mean you won. It means I won, and now I'm a goddamn reaper for your bitch asses. So stay the fuck away from my kingdom and my fucking dance floor, because I'll pick you out. You will be the first fucking cocksucker I see, and I will fucking hurt you in a way that you will never ever really truly figure out. Okay? I won't lift a finger. I can't touch you because you'll fucking sue me. You'll call the cops and they'll arrest me and they'll let me go and blah, 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 and you'll act like a bitch the rest of your fucking life. But I know how to avoid that now. Okay? I'll ruin your fucking whole life, dude. By I wouldn't even tell you how I do it. Okay? You'll just be a fucking like you'll just disappear. You just melt away. You're a fucking toilet bowl. Okay? Just stay the fuck away from my fucking party night and our little happy fucking puppet kingdom. Because I am mean. I am so fucking tired of you ugly, nasty, slippery, oily, whiny, bitchy people who just don't get it. Okay? Today might be your first day. You talk to Jesus, Jesus talks to me, we work it out. Maybe I'll teach you in a couple years how to learn how to be a fucking gentleman and pick up your trash and get a fucking car that doesn't smell like shit and not to make fucking these weird fucking gas engine things that fucking send hate gas at people and will fucking try to kill me every goddamn day. I'm still pissed, okay? I'm not Jesus. I don't have to forgive you. I don't have to. I don't want to forgive you. I have the green card to not forgive you. I have the green card to murder your ass. Is what I have. Okay, and I'm on a murdering spree tonight. And everybody else who loves and trusts me, and we have a fucking understanding. It's a fucking gigantic party in heaven for us. So stay the fuck away from my sacred space. I'm being merciful and warning you. Don't even fucking attempt to figure out where it is because they moved it. Okay? It's not what it was last night, you stupid fucking idiots. We don't operate like you do. Okay? We're way smarter. That's how we won so easily. Okay? We don't go backwards. Be like, oh, hey, can you come back and revisit that comment you said so I can, like, be sarcastic and make you feel bad about it? We don't do that. We forgot already about how we kicked your ass, and we're not going to revisit so you can suck in some fucking pagan hole or whatever you fags do. Like, it doesn't work. It never has worked. Okay? We just laugh at you and do our thing, and it's kind of feel bad for you because you're so persistent about trying to fucking kill our buzz. And we don't give a fuck about it. It's like fucking scum like in a river. The river's running and there's scum right there. The river doesn't give a fuck that there's scum on the river. The river's got shit to do with the fish. You know, if you're scum on a river, no one cares. No one's all, hey, look, there's scum on the river. No one gives a fuck about you, scum on the river. So the best is to get the fuck out of my river. Okay? Just fucking melt away, disappear. Give it a couple years, and then maybe you can try to join the river. Okay? Not tonight. I'm being merciful. I'm being merciful. Okay? Not tonight. I will not be merciful tonight to anybody who tries to pull any kind of horse shit in the slightest, most like bitchy fucking click, 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 tick, tick, any of that shit. Okay? If I detect one fucking, I know what it is. I can fucking, I've taught everybody else how to recognize what you fucking weird fucking gankers are. Okay? So if I detect anything that doesn't flow with how we live our lives in peace and harmony with each other, if there's any kind of fucking bitchy little fucking cunt-faced interruption, you're dead on spot, right in front of everybody. You will literally shit yourself, okay? Then you gotta walk with your shit pants outside and then find a way home, and no one's gonna help you because they saw that I fucking ruined your fucking life. So stay the fuck away from us. This is our time. We won the war tonight. This is not your celebration. You got a lot of penance to make it up to and asking for forgiveness and learning how to be a fucking citizen in the community instead of a fucking taker, thief, fucking liar, cheater, fucking whatever the fucking weird Satanist shit, witchcraft, fucking homos you guys are. Get the fuck away from us. Go to LA or somewhere like, maybe go to fucking Chicago. Just stay the fuck out of San Diego. Definitely stay the fuck out of Pacific Beach. Stay the fuck out of my AM PM forts. Okay? Just do not go get gas or anything. I don't want to see you anywhere near my AM PM forts. Okay? Because we're united now. You have no idea who is now united together to make sure places like those sacred spaces stay sacred to people who have respect and honor for each other. Okay, we lay down our lives for each other out of trust. You don't understand that yet. Okay, you just gave up on being a cocksucker. There's not like in the afternoon you're like, okay, in the morning you're a cocksucker. In the afternoon you're like, I'm gonna be a cocksucker. And in the evening it's like, let's go to the party where it's going. It doesn't work that way. You have to de-cocksuck for a couple years. Like, I'm telling you, get the fuck out of Pacific Beach. Because I recognize you. You still know how to dress, you fucking kooks. Okay? We fucking confused the fuck out of you guys today. It was so funny. I fucking threw a wrench. I threw a fucking wrench. My people know I threw a fucking wrench, and you guys gave up. Because just the way I did it was so fucking psycho on you. I could feel the gas attacks were gone, and I got from command that you guys fucking just quit. Like, all of you quit at the same time. And I can feel that now. So, all I have to say is, fuck off, okay? You're not my friend. You're not our friends. We still know what you look like. You may be walking around with your head between your tails. So, I say get the fuck out of here, because this is not your home in the first place. Because if it was, you wouldn't be acting like a fucking thief and a scammer and a skanker, set up little weird traps of witchcraft and tying knots and fucking being a little piles of trash and shit. We see that now, dude. I pinpointed to everybody what you do and how fucking shitty it is. It's sad. It's like pathetic that you see happy, honest, clear-minded people, and you're so fucking angry at us for being happy that you just try to fucking take our fucking peace of mind away. You've been at me for 3 fucking months straight at least. And it's like, I beat your asses every time. And you know who you are who met me eye to eye, right? You don't leave the house anymore. I know that. You're still on your phone just like hoping that the demons are going to come like rescue you. And the numbers demons are going to come save your ass. Because they don't do that. Because they're imaginary. Okay? So you're all fucking all curled up a little ball. And it's tough shit. All the leaders who used you, I could hear them every morning after I'd pull off a huge maneuver. I'd hear these big jumbo jets fly out of San Diego Airport. You can hear them because they're way bigger than the regular jets that fly out of San Diego Airport. Okay? I spent up all night unlocking a fucking extremely complex witchcraft scheme, and I'd fucking pick the lock and they'd kill the demon, and then I'd have to wait for the sunrise. And then right at sunrise, when they realized what happened, I'd hear that fucking jet. And I was like, oh, it was confirmation that I did the right thing. And I've been doing this for months at a time. I get high off it. I don't do drugs. I kill demons, and I fucking love that shit. It's fucking fun as fuck. And they do this look. When you get them, like, you trap them. Like, I know how to fucking trap them because I'm a hunter. They do this. They go. And then will not look. They do that, like, they're horrified. And they will not make eye contact with you, and they'll shield their bodies from you. I do that to people all the time. I get fucking high as fuck from that. Because they come out mean. I'm sitting in a goddamn Mexican restaurant trying to eat chips and salsa because I don't have any money. So I roll into a chips and salsa place. I make eye contact. They understand I don't have any money. So like, we'll give you chips and salsa and some water. That I really appreciate. I respect that. That's cool. And then you fucking see me and you try to fucking put poison in my goddamn chips and salsa so I get fucking canker sores like in a minute. My chips and goddamn salsa, dude. It's like survival food, and you have to come spray your butthole fucking gas or whatever you do. Dude, I will always fucking hate you. And worse, I will disrespect you. Okay? I will always disrespect you. If Jesus commands me to forgive you, I will negotiate with him that I don't have to. Okay? And if I have to, I will, but I will not be happy about it. And it's still never, ever going to be pleasant with you. Because I've been in heaven, but you've tried to make hell, like, you don't understand how heaven works. Okay? It's not castles and thrones and kings with, like, it's all code for you stupid idiots. So you go chasing after fucking blank chairs that people sit on the side of the road, and you think that's a fucking throne, and that you have to work your way into that party house so you can fucking sit on that throne somehow. Okay, that's not a throne. It's a fucking joke on you. Okay, so you have to do their dirty work, and then you all fucking end up wiping each other's asses or whatever you end up doing. Okay, it's a pathetic thing you guys got yourself into, and it all started on that marijuana dispensary right up by Price Self Storage that I turned to the police. They're fucked because they sell those gases and they try to sell you like these gases love you. Doesn't this feel like love? Yeah. Well, do this and you'll feel more love. And it's like, oh wow, I feel like intoxicated, but it's in the air. Yeah. So ooh blah blah blah. Yeah. Okay. They're using you because the people who flew out in the airport, in the airplanes like 2 months ago, use them. Okay, and that's how Satan's work. They use people on the way down. Okay, Christians and disciples, we build people up. Okay, from the ground level up. I find the people who are honest people who need the help the most, and I focus on them first to make sure they're safe. Okay, and then I work on everybody else. Okay, because I don't want to leave good people behind just because they happen to be disabled or weird or have disadvantaged. I make sure those guys, because those guys always get left behind. And in the Marine Corps, you never leave a man behind, especially a wounded man. Okay? I look at disabled people as wounded people. Okay? They're psychologically, socially wounded. So I make sure those people are safe first, because they always get left behind. And if they're honest people, they're God's people. And if they're God's people, they're my people. And you gankers don't understand how that works. That's why you pick on those people. That's why I scared the shit out of you two turds who stole that bottle of wine last night from one of my people. Because you thought that I'd pick on him. Okay? And then I backed him up, and I stuck around that fucking AMPM waiting for you two faggots. And I could smell the shit in your pants when you're hiding behind that like dumpster. Okay? I know you never touched that bottle of fucking wine because you're terrified what might jump out at you. People like you ruin it for everybody else. Okay? So you stay away from my fucking children. You stay away from my fucking special people, because those people I care about the most, because they have a fucking rough go at life, just like I do, because I'm mentally disadvantaged or whatever you want to call me. I'm disabled. So people fuck with me all my life. I can't differentiate between a jock fucking with me because I'm disadvantaged or some fucking ganking faggot in a red fucking Toyota, okay, throwing gas bombs at me. I can't differentiate. You're both cocksuckers to me. And I'll beat the shit out of either one of you. You know I will if I ever get the cops' approval to just open up on one of you fucking people. You will have broken hands and arms, so you'll never be able to eat again. Okay? You won't be able to eat like a comfortable meal ever again, because I'll break every single one of your fingers. It's really easy to do because my hands are really strong and I'm really focused. And I will break every single one of your fingers if you lay a hand on one of my special, homeless, disadvantaged, alienated, lonely, weirdo people. If you ever fucking pick on one of my fucking God's people again, you're fucked up, okay? And I will not forgive you. I will argue with Jesus for fucking ever and tell him, nope, this guy does not get forgiven. He goes straight to hell. I get to send him there, okay? And Jesus will be all, you're probably right, dude. So, I suggest you stay the fuck away from me now. I'm not your bro. I'm not your angel. I'm not a guardian angel. Okay, I'm a war angel, and I'm an angel of death. I'm a messenger angel and a herald angel, and I'm heralding right now to you to stay the fuck away from us.